The GovClose certification is generating tremendous results. So 27 years old, you've never worked in government contracting, you've never worked as a consultant, and you just closed your first deal, is that correct?
That's fair. And I've got a couple small projects on the side as well. So definitely probably my best investment I've made all year.
It would be my second post on how a cold call landed a 9-figure government contract. My name's Gavin Tice.
So my name is Ethan Mart. When I was able to enroll into the GovClose program, it just exceeded all my expectations and really has provided a lot of valuable learnings and insights that I would not have found on my own.
I was able to get a consulting gig with a software company that currently works with the intelligence community. Hi, I'm Deb Diller Harris.
If you want to learn how to sell to the government, if you want to learn how to start your own consulting business, if you want to learn the skills that you need to go land a 6-figure plus account executive job with big companies selling to the government, the certification program is for you. Head on over to govclose.com, check out our certification program, talk to the team. You won't regret it. All right. Well, today we're going to talk about Sam.gov. And we've got a lot of questions about how to use the features inherent to Sam.gov. Can you automate things? Can you make things a little bit more searchable? I'm going to talk about 2 features today that are inherent to Sam.gov that almost nobody uses. And these are things that people will pay, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for third-party tools to take advantage of. And I just wanted to present those to you guys so you can I guess for the most part, save a lot of time and especially not lose any opportunities you're working on. There's a way to get notifications, make things a little bit faster. So let's get into it here. If I can. All right. So everyone should be seeing Sam.gov screen that I'm using right now. And in order for you to take advantage of these features, you're going to have to be logged in. So you don't have to be logged into Sam.gov to search, okay? And I've been through plenty of tutorials. You can find them on the YouTube channel. They're free. Just go to the tutorials block. But what I'm going to do now is show you something you have to be logged in for. So if you're following along, you are going to have to be logged in for this. I'm already logged in. You're going to do that right up here, and it will take you through, the government system that verifies who you are. But once you're logged in, and you go to search, and I'll show you here what I'm talking about. Now, if you happen to be in an industry that just matches up perfectly with a product service code or NAICS code, then your searches could be relatively simple. But most people, whether you're in our certification course or you're just working out there, your company for another company, a lot of things don't fit perfectly into those buckets, right? A good example of that would be augmented reality or anything to do with a drone, but it doesn't have to be technology. I bring those up because newer technologies typically don't have a service code or a NAICS code dedicated to them. So there's no drone NAICS code, for instance, right? Now that makes it a lot harder to search for things. So when I'm searching, I'm going to go to contract opportunities here. So here's the first thing. When I'm searching for something that is not perfectly matched up with a code, I'm probably going to have to do a few things. Now, I may be making a combination of NAICS and product service codes with keywords, okay? And that happens a lot. So for instance, if I was going to go up here and say that I wanted and we'll see if anything pops up, but if I wanted an analyst certification, and that's what I was looking for. Now, there's nothing that's just going to pop up there under NAICS code or product service code. But if I put those 2 terms together, and I put exact phrase, and I'm going to have to type it in again, that is going to, and this is not one of the 2 things I'm going to show you today. I'm just setting up a search. Okay, if I do exact phrase, when I actually do hit search, it's only going to show me opportunities that have those two words right together. And that's very important, because if it just said any words, then any opportunity, anything within Sam.gov that had either of those words in would pop up. And now I'm getting lost in the things that I don't care about, right? And honestly, wasted my time and yours. So now that we have the exact phrase in there, I'm also going to put in a couple of things. As you know, I'm never a big fan of looking at solicitations unless I've already worked that solicitation for months ahead of time. If you have a set aside, you can plug it in there. I'm going to look for sources sought, right? And also I want to look at the dates, because I don't want anything that's, expired, right? So let's just look at anything in the next 3 months. Oh, and of course I've got to type my little phrase in there again. All right. Okay, so we got one thing, right? Now, let's say that I've worked on this, because you guys are going to have to, if you have something to search for that is a little bit more complicated or nuanced, you'll probably have to do a bunch of searches until you start coming up with the right type of thing, meaning the right responses. Like, so if this is, assuming this is perfect for me and it's something I'm going to, and I'm not going to go through the actual sources sought right now, but assuming this is something I really want to engage on, and I've worked hard at this search, I don't want to have to come into Sam.gov every time and refigure out what my search is going to look like. I want to make sure that my keywords are right. I want to know what works. And if I take a break from Sam.gov, if I've been off for a week or more, I want to be able to come back in here and really hit the ground running. So one thing that I can do is, you can see up here, it says saved searches. So you can save your search. So that's the first thing. It's actually, this is very valuable. So if I go in here and I hit save, I could call this, I'm going to call this cert 2 because I ran it earlier today. I'm going to hit save. So now I have this as a saved search. So whenever I come into Sam.gov, I can go right to my saved searches and I can grab any of these. And now I have different searches that I've had in the past. Augmented reality, we brought it up, nothing, oh, here we go. So we've got a few things in here. So I can come right in, hit it up, and now I've got the opportunities immediately, and I don't have to screw around with trying to figure out what the keyword combination is. And I don't have to remember this part again about putting an exact phrase in. So that in and of itself can save you a lot of time, especially if you, most of you guys, if you're, it doesn't matter, sales executive, if you're on your own business, you don't have hours a day to spend in Sam.gov. I like to just make it one of those first things I do in my morning checklist. So I'm going to hit it real quick, hit the button, bam, I can see if there's 3 things in here. Okay, now I might download them, or I might just review them real quick to see if it's something I need to engage on. Now, what if there is something that I really want to engage on, right? So let's see, this right here is due December 12th. Right. Now, let's say that this was something, this is the second thing I'm going to show you. When you have, it doesn't matter if it's a sources sought or a request for proposal, request for quote, often the government will put out multiple versions of these, right? And you want to make sure that if you're working, especially you have a deliverable coming up, you want to make sure you have the most current available information. So what you can do is, now let's say I'm going to click on this. All right, so I already followed it, but what you can do is you can follow this opportunity, okay? And now you can automatically receive the updates and the notifications when something changes. And so what could potentially change? Well, the government, first of all, just might have screwed up, right? So I've seen teams where they put out a solicitation and they forgot to put something in there, so then they have to put out a newer version. Often, and you've probably seen this, what you'll see is that the government will change the due date. That happens a lot around the holidays. They'll be like, hey, we want to make this due, they weren't thinking, and it was due. This just happened to me right before Thanksgiving. Thing was due 2 days before Thanksgiving. Well, that was stupid. The government certainly doesn't want to be reviewing proposals the day before Thanksgiving. So they're going to extend that past, and you'll see that the week after. So that's just something that just happened to me. So it's top of mind, but these things happen all the time. Now, you can actually manipulate when you get notified on these things, right? So, I could go to my workspace right now. I'm not going to click on it because there's some information in there I don't particularly feel like sharing. And then essentially, and hold on, I can stop sharing my screen here. And then essentially what's going to happen there is you can decide when you receive emails, email notifications. It could tell you if, hey, do I want to be notified weekly? Do I want to be notified daily? Or it can give you immediate notification. So you can receive an email immediately. I just said immediately like 5 times, but you can get that email as soon as something happens. That's usually how I set mine up. So I guess that would be my next recommendation is you go into your workspace, and in your workspace, you want to just massage that so you have all of your emails set up. So you're getting notified immediately whenever there's a change to one of the notifications that you find. Okay. Now, this was just a quick one. This was just to answer, hey, what kind of automated features are available in Sam.gov? If you guys have any questions, you can type them in right here. I just typed in test just to see if that's working. Aside from that, you can always recommend different videos, different tutorials that you would like to see. If you're not familiar with our process of looking for things like sources sought versus requests for proposals, requests for quotes, when is it appropriate to, focus on the RFP, RFQ, because there is a time for that. But that time is typically going to be after you have worked those opportunities leading up to the actual solicitation drop. So hopefully at that point you have a relationship with the government office and you've increased your probability of win for that opportunity, which now makes it an appropriate opportunity for you to go after and put that work in. Because let's be honest, writing a proposal is a lot of work. Our team just did one, and every time this happens, I realize why proposal writing isn't our core area of focus, because it is. It takes a lot of work to get that right. So great. Well, appreciate everybody taking your time today. We'll see you next time.